So when it comes to protecting the underside of your vehicle, you have a lot of options out there, especially if you're running like a Tacoma or a Jeep. For us, we're going with the OK Expedition skid plates. Now these guys are local to us, so they're based out of the Okanagan. One of the things we really love about these guys is the quality. This is 1/4 inch thick, 50-52 aluminum, well built, reinforced all throughout, so you're not just getting a plate there. These will actually protect your vehicle. One of the bonuses with going with something like this, aside from it protecting from rocks, logs, river crossing, anything like that, is that these guys will actually cover your catalytic converter, or at least make it quite a bit more difficult for would-be thieves to help themselves. So this install here on these skid plates going onto the Tacoma are actually quite straightforward. We're actually going to be removing the front factory skid plate, putting these guys on. So these will actually mount up to the original spots. So we're not having to drill, we're not having to customize anything. This is going to bolt straight up using 4 of the original bolts from your front skid plate, and then bolts that are supplied. All right, so first step here is going to be to remove the 4 factory bolts on the engine skid plate. This is the thin factory one. These are a 12 mil. And just set that aside. All right, so next we're going to do the further back skid plate. These won't be on every Tacoma, but they are on the TRD. To get these front ones, you'll need to throw an extension on there. If you don't have impact wrenches, you can do this by hand. They're not actually on that tight. And there we go. Next, we're going to remove the skid plate mounting brackets. So these 2 guys here. When we pull these off, we're going to need to save 4 of the bolts to reinstall the new OK Expedition plates. There we go. So we're going to be saving 4 of these guys for reinstall. So if you have a partner with you, it's quite easy to lift this guy up. They're not overly heavy. As I am doing this alone, I'm going to grab my jack just to help kind of lift this into place so I'm not struggling. All right, so now that we've got the jack kind of balancing this for us, we can shimmy it as much as we need. So this is where we're using those factory bolts again. And those ones were a 17 mil to remove. So we'll get them up there, but we will leave them a little bit loose because we will need to shift everything around a little. And then one trick for the back here to kind of get these started is if we take our extension and on the back there, we pretty much use it like a little screwdriver. So using a light to look up into the mount hole here, you can see that you are aligned. That's why we left these front ones loose so we can shift it around as much as we need to. Perfect, one in. Now we should be able to remove this jack. And on to the next.
Next, we're going to install the supplied M8 bolts. These guys are a 13 mil for your wrench. So what this guy's going to do is we have a bolt, washer, and then this little spacer. So the spacer is going to slide above. For these guys, we definitely don't want to do them too tight at the moment because the transmission skid plate is going to slide into this spot as well. So just leave them nice and loose like that. Perfect. Now time to put the transmission skid plate on. Okay, so next we are going to remove the 2 bolts from the braces here, 2 on each side, and that's where our transmission skid plate is going to go. All right, so next we are going to slide these slots here up above the front skid plate, but below those spacers we put in there. This may require a little bit of shimmying around and patience. And possibly a friend to hit that jack up a bit for you. All right, next we're gonna move on to these 2 rear ones here. These guys are collared as well. When we have the bolt up in there, you'll see they're nice and protected again from being sheared off. These ones here, they are supplied, and they're actually going to be these guys. So we're gonna have a plate, which is gonna slip up inside here, and then each side is gonna get the 2 bolts with, of course, the washers. This will again require some shifting of everything. Okay, now that we've got all the bolts in, they are started, we're just gonna kind of shimmy everything, make it line up nice, and then we'll go to town and get these guys nice and tight. Now onto the front. So we're just gonna slide out to the front here, make sure everything's looking straight, and then we'll tighten these 6 up, and we will be done. All right, she's looking nice and square, so we'll tighten everything up. So now we're gonna go through and tighten everything by hand. Using the impacts, I don't like to just ram them home. Things have torque specs and we don't want to get too crazy with them. So we're just gonna go in, grab our 3/8 ratchet and snug them all up. Just tighten them up. All right, so that was the OK Expedition skid plate install. As you can see, this would be a lot easier if you have a lift, but it's not necessary. You can crawl underneath there, make it work. Also, if your vehicle doesn't ride as high, just lifting up the front end will help you out with that. OK Expedition, these guys are a Canadian company. They're based out of the Okanagan. Great way to go, keep it local. So today we did the install at Over the Top Racks. The link for Over the Top Racks is down below, and of course the link for these fantastic OK Expedition skid plates below as well.